this is Fiona here with you until 6 o'clock. Thanks to Tim for the past 2 hours. The last track you heard was Soldier Soldier by Spiz Energy. Before that you heard Land of Milk and Honey by Killing Joke, especially for Tony in here tonight. I'd just like to say to Helen out there, who's probably listening, or maybe she's gone to sleep by now, even the oldest man who ever lived died. Next up I've got The Lie by Gun Club. And Helen Barnes and Kevin Wombat. Helen Barnes, that silly girl who continually goes around saying things like, "Hush-a-bye baby, hush quite a lot. Bad babies get rabies and have to be shot." What a poet my friend is.
If you heard what she said to me, your ears would just shrivel.
The time is 4 minutes past 4. I am at last here. Thanks to Jules, I sort of got a split shift. She's been clever today. This time in the studio for Fruit Bat Frolics, we have Helen for once. Now I'll turn her microphone on and she can say hello.
Hello.
Oh, God, talkative sort, isn't she?
I'm inspired tonight.
Oh, yeah. Like a bucket of cold chips.
No, I've got something I want to say.
All right.
This is just hello to Alison, if she's still listening out there. Visiting
You
for 2
just dropped
hours.
dead of boredom or something?
No, it was a very good shift that went on before us.
Well,
Quality.
yes, a 10 out of 10.
Professional.
Don't make...
What is under question?
Yeah, well, this is true. Anyway, I'll go to my first track, which is... all you people who know me out there may think this is rather obvious or forced or something, but it is... We'll not tell Helen to get stuffed over it because it's not nice. Anyway, I'll go to Blue Monday. China Crisis there with a track called Greenacre Bay, in case you hadn't got it by then. Bit of a long-winded thing. But Helen loves it. She thinks it's nice. Helen's into nice music.
I'm a nice person.
If you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Shut your face.
I think she's an offensive person too. Anyway,
Keep a record, have you?
yeah, you would. I've got 2 things to say to you people out there, one of which is that I am definitely not, underline that, inverted commas, neon lights, I'm not taking requests. Not under any circumstances. I've got so much music to play, I don't know where to put myself. I thought I was doing a 4-hour shift. I'm only doing a 2, so I've got heaps to play. So, no requests, thanks. Also, if you want to ring up and have a chat, which we don't mind, there's a sort of conditional request thing a bit later, but I won't tell you too much about that now because I don't know whether I'm doing it or not yet. If you want to ring up and talk, the number is 419-2066, not 6262. It's 419-2066. Ring up and have a chat to us. Us people stuck in these studios at this hour of the morning. Oh, it's such a lovely job. Anyway, particularly when you get messed about. Anyway, enough of my whinging. The time is exactly 18 minutes past 4. I'll be with you here until 6 o'clock when I think... I've got no idea who turns up. Probably David Nichols. He usually does Sunday mornings. You're on Triple R in case you hadn't guessed. And my name's Fiona. I'm here. This is a Fruit Bat Frolic show and I'm here with you till 6. Sophia's there with a single released before their hit Mad World, and I think considerably much better single. I think Mad World was rubbish. But that's just a personal opinion. Don't take this personally. I'm not rubbishing any of their music, I suppose. I think I'd better back announce what I've played. I've played a grand total of 4 tracks in 29 minutes, which I think is pretty good. You just heard Pale Shelter by Tears for Fears. Before that you heard Eros Arriving, Bill Nelson, half of a double single he released, which was, I think, before the Flaming Desire 12-inch. Whenever that may be. I'm not too sure about all these dates and things. Excuse me, being a little indistinct. Before that you heard Helen's favourite Greenacre Bay, and first up Blue Monday by New Order. I'm going now to a track from the 12-inch version of Two Hearts Beat as One by U2. It's the other single, which I couldn't find in its single form, New Year's Day. Yazoo there with a track called Nobody's Diary, which has probably been heard on most of the AM stations around, as everybody else knows. I wonder, does Helen want a mic?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, I've turned her on, if she wants to say anything, that is.
There.
Well, that's articulate, isn't it, eh? I'll just back announce what I've recently played. Before Nobody's Diary, you heard Lined Up by Shriekback, a disco remix of that track, which the guy who I'm talking to at the moment doesn't like, but I do because I like as much of that song as I can get. It's a fantastic song. I think a lot of people would agree with me there. Unfortunately, we seem to have mislaid My Spine as a bass line, which I was also going to play, but circumstances being what they are, just can't do it. And before Lined Up, you heard New Year's Day by U2, which was also a separate single, both released, that on the B-side of Two Hearts Beat as One, which were both released in 1983 for U2, half of which are married. That should shatter a few girls' dreams. Yes, Bono and The Edge are both married. Oh dear, how tragic. The time is 13 minutes to 5. I'll be here with you until 6 o'clock, and you're on 3RRR. One of my very favourite singles there, Procession by New Order. Before that you heard The Back of Love by Echo and the Bunnymen, and before that you heard Love on Your Side by Thompson Twins. You nearly heard The Walk by The Cure, but I mysteriously mislaid that.
Well, didn't exactly mislaid.
Yeah, well, there was another single in the single bag. It's 1.5 minutes to 5. I'm here with you till 6. This is the show Fruit Bat Frolics on one of its rare appearances on Triple R, as we tend to sort of miss shows a little, which is not so good, but, you know, one lives with these things. Next up, I've got a track from Warsaw, which, in case you didn't know, I think every man and his dog must know this by now, a track by Warsaw, which is called All This For You, and it was Joy Division, or it is Joy Division, but before they were Joy Division, they were Warsaw, so this is them. Excuse me, I'm a bit confused. I tell you when it was released, if they'll tell me. Sorry, I can't tell you when it was released. They won't on the little single sleeve. I'm sorry about that. To the person who just rang up and got hung up on, Helen's a bit of an amateur at using the phones, which is fair enough. It's the first time she's been here. Well, ring back and I'll talk to you. I mean, it was totally unintentional. She just wasn't sure how to use the phones. So please ring back. I'm sorry about that. Next up, I've got a track by China Crisis yet again, called African White, which was a single of theirs, and a fairly successful one as far as Triple R was concerned, I think. Green and gold one, which has been released, sadly enough, on Australian release. I could cry, because I'm a record snob, but, you know, nobody holds this against me except Helen, who is over there ripping a flower to pieces.
He loves me. Loves me not.
Yes, it was a little different from that a few minutes ago.
I don't care. He's an idiot. He's an asshole.
Helen, language!
Oh, sorry. For those of you who are offended by that last sentence, just forget it.
Yeah, she's not usually like this. It's just that I've got a chain to the...
Let me go!
Stop rattling those chains. It's obscene. It's rude. And I won't stand for it. No. I'll get out the electric cattle prod.
Yes, but I'd probably enjoy it.
Yes, I know. You're that sort of person. Look, I think we'll leave this strain of conversation. I don't think it's very nice. And it's also very big lies. Before ceremony, you heard House on Highland Avenue by the Gun Club, which is one of Helen's favourites. She said she wanted to say something about it.
I was going to say that it reminded me of a book or a film or something called The Collector. It's about this normal, average, run-of-the-mill psychopath who collects people. He got this girl and put her in a cellar and left her for 3 months, and she died. So he went out and got
mysterious. When you get left in a cellar for 3 months, would you die too?
Not to worry, he went out and got another one.
And it's just stocking up on the psychopaths here.
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them in the studio. Look, she's just savagely tearing this flower apart. Before
Vicious.
House on Highland Avenue, you heard African White by China Crisis, which I think I also announced. And nothing much has happened since then. The time is 19.5 minutes past 5. I'm here with you till 6, when hopefully David Nichols turns up. I won't be terribly impressed if he doesn't. But, you know, we can all take these things we have to bear. This is Fiona with the Fruit Bat Frolics show on 3RRR. Okay, well, it is almost exactly 6 o'clock. It's time I was gone. I'd just like to thank the people who rang tonight, people like Jim, the people down in Torquay, and John, who I'll probably be talking to fairly soon. I'd like to thank Helen for coming in tonight and brightening the studios, tearing flowers up, abusing me, all that sort of nice middle-class thing to do. Anyway, I shall leave you with yet another New Order track, one called Leave Me Alone. I am here by myself, thanks to Miles and a mutual misunderstanding. Ah well, life is sad. One puts up with these things. Yes, it's quite a surprise to see me here again after a reasonably short interlude compared to the usual 6 months or so. But anyway, enough chat. To the person who rang up before who wanted to hear disco, I hope you drop dead. And if you don't, you'll be aided to. I think you're a repulsive human being who should die and deserves it. Excuse me, just a little bit of concentrated venom there.